Have you ever found yourself wishing you could just rewind time? Not to change everything, but just to peek into the pasts that could have happened. Well, today we're going to look at a really cool piece of grammar that lets you do exactly that. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're replaying a scene from your life in your head, and you can't help but wonder, what would have happened if I'd made a different choice? Or said that one thing differently? Or, just turned left instead of right? It's such a universal feeling, isn't it? This idea of imagining these parallel realities. It's really the language of regret, but also of missed opportunities. And sometimes it's just plain old curiosity about those paths we didn't take. And this is where it gets really, really cool. Some languages actually have a specific grammatical tool just for building these hypothetical worlds. And in Finnish, this really complex human feeling. It's not just a thought, it's literally baked right into the grammar. Okay, so this awesome grammatical tool is called the conditional perfect. In Finnish, that's konditionaalin perfekti. And honestly, it's our key to unlocking and talking about all these alternate histories. So how do you actually build one of these sentences? Now, I know it might sound a little intimidating, but it's actually a surprisingly simple two-part formula. Seriously, you can think of it like a blueprint for building a past that never really happened. So at its core, the conditional perfect is all about stuff that could have happened, but for whatever reason, didn't. It's basically the tense you use when you want to talk about the ghost of a past event. All right, here's that two-part formula I mentioned. It's super straightforward. First up, you're going to take the verb to be, which is olla, and put it in its conditional form. That gives you the would be part of the sentence. Then, for step 2, you just add the past participle of your main verb. The thing you did. That's the have done part. Slap them together and boom, you get would have done. Okay, let's see this thing in action. In this sentence, olisin tiennyttä translates to I had known or maybe I would have known. And olisin auttanut means I would have helped. See? You can literally see our little two-part formula at work in both parts of the sentence. And check out this other great example. Olisi ostanut, that's would have bought, and olisi saanut, had gotten. Now, something really cool to notice here is that the if part of the sentence can come at the beginning or the end. It doesn't matter. The meaning stays exactly the same, so the whole structure is super flexible. Okay, so one of the most common ways you're going to see this tense is for creating that classic chain of cause and effect. The whole if this had happened, then that would have happened kind of thing. And in Finnish, these sentences are almost always built using the word jos, which just means if. Just look at how clearly this table lays it all out, the cause and the effect. The cause, the what if, is if they had taken a taxi. And what's the effect? Well, they would have arrived at the party dry. It just paints such a vivid picture of a totally different evening, doesn't it? And here's another one, and this one has a bit more, personal, emotional weight to it. The condition, the if, is about telling the truth. And the result that never happened? Forgiveness. It just goes to show you how perfect this grammar is for talking about these really complex, sensitive situations. And just to be clear, this works for negative stuff too. I mean, look at this. The if part is positive. If he had been careful, but the result is negative. He wouldn't have fallen. That kind of versatility is what gives this tense such a huge range of expression. It's really powerful. But what happens when there isn't a really clear cause and effect? What if you just want to express a wish or a regret about something in the past? Well, you guessed it. Finnish has a really beautiful way to handle that too. Yeah, this is where we kind of shift away from the logical if-then stuff and move right into pure emotion. We just drop the whole cause and effect structure, and what we're left with is this single, really powerful feeling. Just, if only. And this sentence, it just illustrates that feeling perfectly. See that word at the beginning, kumpa? That little word completely transforms the sentence. It's not a condition anymore, it's a wish. You can almost feel the longing for a memory that was never actually made. Olisimme matkustaneet. If only we had traveled. Okay, now here's a feeling I think literally every single one of us can relate to. That morning after regret. It's such a simple, universal wish, and it's just perfectly captured by this structure. Olisin mennyt. I would have gone, or really just, if only I had gone. And of course, this kunpa structure is just as versatile. You can wish for something to have happened, like if only I'd remembered my umbrella. Or you can wish for something not to have happened, like if only my bike hadn't been stolen. And to make that negative wish, it's super simple. You just pop the word a, which means not, right before the verb. All right, let's bring all this together. What we've been looking at today is so much more than just a bunch of dry grammar rules, right? It's a really powerful tool that language gives us to express a deep, core part of what it means to be human. So, to recap, real quick, what is it? The conditional perfect is the tense for pasts that could have been but weren't. How do you build it? Easy, that two-part formula, conditional alla plus the past participle. And what do you use it for? Well, you can use it with Joes, for all those if, then, cause and effect stories. Or you can use it with kunpa, to express those powerful wishes and regrets, the if-only moments. See, in the end, this really isn't just about grammar. It's a tool for storytelling, for looking inward, and for firing up your imagination. It literally gives a voice to the ghosts of our past choices. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know the grammar to rewrite the past, what story would you tell?